Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 21 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. Not the food, though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Bryan, and Reaves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm your host, Jamal. I'm here every week. I never take a week off. With me, as always, is my co-host, Reaves. Say what's up.
What's up, people? Wow. Can you think about our fans looking at their phone right now? The new podcast comes up and they're like, what?
Wait, they got that person?
Wait,
Come on.
what?
The podcast? Oh, wait, hold on. Is your
Wait, they did 2 episodes in a row?
Okay, so he is here.
2 in a row?
They did back-to-back episodes. They didn't take a bunch of weeks off and not like say anything about it. They just went away for a few weeks and didn't like talk about it.
Last week, as listeners remember, we did say we're in playoff mode. We are now in the Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl week, just so everyone knows. So now it's even more playoff mode, if you know what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah.
It's a different game now. It's not the same
it's a
game
whole
we've been
different
playing
sport.
in the regular season.
Yeah, I'm not even playing the sport you guys are playing anymore.
Yeah.
That's
new-
what Paul George
it's a new
says,
sport.
right? He's
Yeah.
like, my problem with the regular season is I was playing a different sport. Now I know I'm supposed to be playing basketball,
Uh-huh.
and I will be playing that in the playoffs. And then he gets injured, and then he like passes the ball, and no one's there, and stuff like that happens to him.
So we had a great guest last week. It was playoff mode. It's now Super Bowl. So we were like, we got to get a champion, someone who knows what it's like to get to the big game. So I think we should just introduce our guest. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Okay. Our guest today hails from Southern Pines, North Carolina. After honing her skills at the New England Culinary Institute, she made waves in Boston's culinary scene at Townsman. She returned to the South, as good children do, and teamed up with Chef Michael Lee to launch M. Tempura in Durham, where she serves as chef de cuisine. She's a black belt in the art of Japanese and Korean cuisine. She was a standout performer on season 21 of Bravo's Top Chef Wisconsin. Please welcome to the podcast, Chef Savannah Miller.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. Wow. I'm so excited to be here. I've never had that good of an intro, so I don't know what to say. I'm like speechless.
Oh, well,
Okay.
that's
I didn't know when to start.
What other podcasts have you been on? The Top Chef podcast? You can name them.
Yeah, just go
So,
ahead. We know. Him.
I did compliments to when do you guys release this? Actually,
Oh, did you just do it? Are you stacking interviews?
guys? I'm a little busy.
yeah.
But,
No, that's fine.
I didn't actually say anything. I've done a few. So,
Okay. Okay, were
some
you
of-
on our arch nemesis?
I don't know. What is
Pack your knives.
The daily.
yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they
Pack
do
it.
something with they do a finale recap, and they have all 3 of us.
Mm.
They have
Oh, wow, that's
they
big.
pull some really good strings. So I feel like
Mm.
I was asked, but I was like one of the guests.
Oh, yeah, they
It
pull
wasn't
string.
personal.
They got a
Hmm.
freaking contestant on as a host now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
I
biggest
know.
string you can pull.
I mean, I think it's so you don't like it.
You know
I mean,
the
we don't-
strings
we
I
don't care.
pulled?
It's bad for us.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
bad for
another-
us.
Oh, I
You wanna know
understand.
the strings I pulled? I pulled
Well-
myself up on my bootstraps and I sent out some emails. And that's how I got people on the show.
I think you guys are killing it. I mean, I was like, yeah, done. Be there.
And we
It was-
appreciate that.
Yeah, we do appreciate that. I have to say, I am, and I don't want to use this word, but I did stalk your Instagram stories recently, and you had a dinner with some of your fellow chef testants from this season recently. Is that a thing you like to do, just to remind them who you are? And like, I was in the finals and you were.
Oh, I like to anytime, I'll be honest, like anytime I can get like paid to travel and cook, I'm gonna do that, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, so I think that's great. That's like a whole new world that I didn't know existed before Top Chef. So and then I get to see all my friends. So it's like it's a win-win. But I think even if it's more like charity focused, we have a few things coming up this year. It's still fun because it's like a good chance to get out of the house and like kind of switch it up. But yeah, I think the last year I've probably done 4 to 5 events, and this year, I mean, it's like twice as much.
Do you enjoy the traveling, like the process of traveling, or you like everyone else when you get there and you actually get to do the stuff that you want to do,
I think
like not the airport life?
Oh, I'm not, I'll be honest. I think like the airport life for me is very short-lived. I like show up and I'm show up right before the flight. And it's a little stressful, but it's kind of like you slide in and it's fine. I think I'm still enjoying it. Maybe if like this year I'll have a point where it's like, "Ugh, God, I'm kind of getting sick of this, but not yet. I think traveling with food is a totally different ball game that I haven't really had to do except for the last year. So like learning about what you can take and like how to keep things, you know, frozen or refrigerated is kind of a headache. But most of the time, I'm just an overpacker in general. So
Okay.
yeah.
Speaking of overpacking, what did you have to pack? Like, how did you get on Top Chef? Like, what was your journey to get the invite and go on the show?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say, what did you pack to take to Top Chef?
No.
I was like, oh,
You can answer that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could
you
hear
can
that one,
answer that.
maybe.
That's a
I
good
wasn't gonna ask
question.
that.
That's a good question.
they're both good. So I love the show. Like I've been a fan of the show itself and the franchise for a long time. I've I've only ever cooked, so I didn't necessarily like it wasn't like I'm going to be a chef so I can be on Top Chef, but it was like I began cooking and it was like, man, here's something that I can like relate to and it's fun to watch. Fast forward, like it was always something I wanted to do, but I never thought it would happen. And I also never felt like I was going to be ready or feel like, oh, here I am, I'm ready to go. I got a DM on Instagram and I like ignored it at first because I thought it was spam. And then, a few days later, it was more like a human message. And it kind of resonated with me. And we got on the phone. And I mean, it was like a pretty short process. I think I was kind of towards the end of the entire like auditioning or whatever you want to call it. But for me, it kind of felt weird because you just don't know where the end is. So every week was just like kind of passing you off to somebody else. But yeah, so they just DM'd me and asked me to apply, and I applied.
So there's like a round of interviews you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's so different, right? Like they want to just talk to you. They want to like, if I put you in front of a camera, like, are you like normal enough to just hold a conversation?
Or weird enough that it'll be cool on TV.
100%. And like, have we met the weird quota? Like, I don't know what they had left. But so stuff like that. There's obviously like, I think back in the day, maybe they would fly you out and you would cook. From what I've heard, we didn't do that. Like a cooking demo tutorial, if you will. And then, like psych evaluations, like physical examinations, like, can you be made fun of? And it's okay.
Oh wait, so wait, one interview was them just making. Okay, first you did the
Oh,
presidential
yeah.
physical. You had to do the run the mile, and you had to touch your toes. That's
Yeah,
one. And then
you
they
had to
made
hold
fun
on
of
to
you.
the bar maybe for whatever 30 seconds too. And then while they're doing it, they're insulting you, I guess.
Yeah.
Tom's like, is that how you wanted to hold it? It's like
Mm.
very physical in the sense of like, that part I guess was kind of easy. Like, you just need to, and I think most of it is being like, if something happens to me, I own it, So
Yeah.
Cover their butts.
yeah, and also like obviously you have to be in good standing shape, but I think the mental part is a little bit more of the meat of what they're looking for. They definitely want to just, I guess like everyone has trauma, everyone has stuff, but like, can you deal with the intensity of that schedule and like cameras being on you while all of this stuff that is very near and dear to your sense of self is kind of happening?
Yeah. So speaking of that, you arrive. It's the first episode they're filming. You walk into a Top Chef kitchen and they tell you there's no quick fire. You're now doing just the elimination of like the split teams. What's going through your mind?
I was just so happy to delay cooking. So I was just like, yeah, I wanted as much time as I could to the first cook was so scary. I'm a very nervous person. Like I get I mean, if you watch the first few episodes, I think that's apparent. I wanted to hold on to like the idea of the challenge as long as I could before the time started. So no quick fire for me. I was totally fine with. I think going straight into an elimination kind of sucks, but like worst case scenario, if I was gonna go home the first episode, I was gonna go home the first episode. If I cooked a quick fire before, it's not a big deal, you know.
Yeah.
No
But
one
that
really
was
wants to go. Yeah.
yeah, no one wants to go home first, but it was, the first time they broke away from the quick fire, and that usually was the get to know you. So this time you had the get to know you in the car drive to get ingredients and whatnot. So it was a little bit different energy.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's better.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting in a car, you get to actually talk, and like, I wasn't driving, I don't think. So, you know, I'm not paying attention, and we're able to actually chat versus like, oh, I'm cooking for the first time and
Yeah.
I'm forced to ask these people questions. Obviously, I understand why they're telling you to ask, but I actually preferred it.
Did that become more
What are
natural
those?
as the show was going, like having to do those talk while cooking?
Oh, I think by the second episode we got it because
Okay.
you want to do it because you don't want to fight it because it's going to take longer.
Go ahead, Reaves.
Are those car rides like more collaborative on what you guys are working on, or some people like very protective and don't want to talk about whatever their dish is or what's their like thought process?
I think if people were, if I had suspicions of people being selective over what they would say, I was never close enough to them to prove that that's what they were doing. But, or you could be like me, like half the time I just didn't know. So I could just say that all the time. And I think some people also just preferred it's less about like telling people what you're making and putting it into like the space of the chefs, because we had like a pretty decent like camaraderie, like we're in it together, everyone messes up. And more so like the second you say something, you could potentially it almost looks bad if in the final edit you change. And so for me, I guess I was more selective over what I said or shared. I tried to be very broad and not specific because is a lot of the times, I mean, that's kind of where I was in the thought process, but I also wanted to leave space for, I don't know, the final episode not looking how, like, I didn't want to show how scatterbrained or how many ideas I was really juggling at the time.
There's also a lot going on in that final episode. You guys had been whisked away onto a cruise ship. What was that like walking
We're getting there
in?
fast. Woo, we got there really fast.
We're just cutting through it.
Well, you got whisked away onto the cruise ship, and then you walk in, and it's Chef, was it Morimoto? Like, what was that like?
That was crazy. I mean, so we really didn't know. Like, it was, he's kind of set up in this restaurant area that we had been before, but when we would film in certain areas of the ship, obviously it's shut down for that day or that which everyone on the boat loved.
I'm sure.
Like death threats. And so we knew the layout of the space, and so when they like line you up there and it's like, okay, hold, for a second I think we all kind of were like, they do big reveals because they're also, it's a marketing thing with the boat. So for a second, I think we were all kind of like, we know the dining room's beautiful, like let's get ready to, show it off. Like, I don't mean to be like silly. Like I understand what we're there to do and help. And like, I'm grateful to be there. It's like, I love it. Let's show it off. But it wasn't that. It was Morimoto. And I think that was really cool because we were really like totally surprised by that.
Do you still have that menu that he signed?
I do. I just got like a big frame actually. And so I have like the Morimoto. I have one where everyone came to the restaurant in Durham here. And like, I think it was like 9 out of the 16 of us who signed it, which is cool. And then I have our Restaurant Wars menu.
Wow. Okay. Who's your favorite celebrity chef that you got to meet during the show?
I would say Maddie Matheson maybe, or I mean Morimoto. I also think Sean Sherman was really cool.
I'm leaving space for Reaves and Bryan. I don't want to say ask all.
I
want to
go. So
I'm like,
we fast forward to the finale. I now want to go back in time to earlier in the season. So you mentioned your process for getting ready for the show, and that like your boyfriend at the time was like you would go to like farmers markets, he would give you ingredients, and you would do these quick fires. Like, what was the process like for that?
Yeah, I mean, so I just think for us, it's like we're engaged now, but even at that time, it was like we're in this together. And so if I was going to take, to be honest, a huge thing is like taking that much time off work. Like that's not a small thing for, I think, most people. And so for me to be like, hey, here's this opportunity, not only is it like a dream to do this show and compete and like put yourself out there, whatever. It's also a big commitment to time and to resources. And so if we're going to do it, it's like we're going to do it together. And yeah, and he definitely put me through the ringer. Like immediately, it was not just shopping and quick fires. It was like, we're going to start working out. Like he's a big runner and he's like, you can't run. Like you can't do any of this. Like you need to be able to blah, blah, blah. And it's totally different being in a kitchen every day. Like that's a physical whatever, but being in competition, you are in the kitchen every day. And then it's also like the mental fatigue, like you're just not like in your usual elements, and it kind of takes the wear and tear. So I just feel like from every aspect, he was a huge supporter of being like, okay, and now we're gonna go buy this cookbook. And even if I didn't want to do it, I would get off work. There was like a gym attached to the restaurant at the time. And like the first time we ever did it, he was like, I'm going to work out while you close the restaurant. And he came back and he's like, okay, you have 30 minutes and it needs to be protein packed and like blah, blah, blah. You know, like it benefited.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was like a win-win. But yeah.
I think that's smart to think of. I think a lot of people who go on this show don't think about the things other than cooking that you have to prepare for. Like if I was going to go on Top Chef, I would make sure I knew how to fish. Because a lot of times Tom would be like, hey, guess what? We're going fishing.
Get on the boat. Yeah.
We got to get on the boat.
Was to go fishing. We didn't go.
Yeah.
We wanted to go fishing with Tom so bad.
You were on a boat.
I know. And then when we went to do Restaurant Wars, like, you know, it's like an aquarium, a museum of sorts. And the whole time we're like, we're going fishing. Like there were boats pulling up to this dock. And we're like, they're going to come out with raincoats or whatever. And they're like, it's Restaurant Wars.
That's lame.
But are we still going fishing?
Yeah, we never did. But I did get to go because we were in the final three. Me, Dan, and Danny got to go fly fishing with Tom in Aspen, which sounds really like
bougie.
I feel it sounds saying it out loud. So it's like it's fine. I know who I am.
You didn't have to put the Aspen part in. The other part sounds fine. When you say in Aspen, it's like in Aspen.
We're in Aspen. I didn't want to go, but we had tickets. Yeah, we went.
Who got the most fish that day? Did Tom? I bet Tom like plants fish so that he always wins. He's like, oh, look at this one, the biggest one.
He gets his assistant to buy a bunch of fish and have them like hanging out in the water. He just picks them out. He's like, I don't know how I did this.
If you can believe it, Tom immediately, he's like, you know, we had to like drive there, and there's a section of time where you're like trying on waiters and you spend time together. And then the second we get to the spot where they drop people off, I mean, he's gone. He's like going in the opposite direction. He's like, when does the van leave? Like, I'll be back in 6 hours. So we like the best version of that story is like the first sentence, and I don't explain anything else because we didn't really hang out with Tom.
Yeah, we don't either.
Yeah, we don't.
No, yeah. He keeps saying we're gonna hang out, and then he like never shows up. He'll tell us where to go.
Yeah, Bryan went to his restaurant and he acted like he didn't know Bryan.
He big timed me, and he was like, I don't know who you are.
You're like, you haven't listened to the pod?
Yeah, I was like, I do a Top Chef podcast, and he's like, I don't care. Everyone does a Top Chef podcast.
Did you did say that to him? Did you say that to him?
No.
Oh
no.
my God, okay.
I said, he was like on his way out. I was like, hey, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever.
Well,
And
you grabbed his arm, right?
Yeah, you
yeah,
grabbed him.
pulled him back.
He was like reaching for the door, and I blockaded the door. And I did a real like,
Yeah.
baby, it's cold outside situation, and I was like,
Mm.
just like not letting him out. And
Yeah.
and then we had a nice talk. I took a picture with him, and he was like, "I gotta drive back to Long Island. I gotta go." And I was like, "Okay,
He's got to go listen to
food's
the
good.
podcast.
Food's
I'm sure
good. Thanks."
he loved that.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he's a man of the people. I think he really likes to be there and talk to
He's a
people.
people.
Yes. Oh yeah. He's like, "Is there anything I can get for you? Is there anything at all that I can get for you? Just let me know. Don't hesitate to ask." And I was like, "Yeah, can I get like a picture?" And he's like, "Oh, sure."
Why'd you wait so?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But I did meet him, and that's cool. But you went fly fishing with him in Aspen, so you win. That's fine.
Yeah, it would be nice. I feel like for me it was like I idolized Tom. I think he's so cool. He's like, for me, I don't know, definitely the one that I like. I don't know, like I wanted to impress Tom. And that fly fishing trip was kind of funny because even traveling there, whatever, I realized that like I just didn't have enough in common with him. Like if you're on the show, it's
Hmm.
have things to talk about because you're asking me to do something and I'm doing it and you're telling me if you like it or not. And then on this trip, I was like, man, I just really wish I had like more life experience or just like more things like that Tom cares about experiencing to chat with him because I think he's so cool. But
You didn't bring up TV. You weren't like, "Hey, did you finish Severance? Did you finish Severance?" Did you bring that to him?
I didn't. Also, I guess I'm just like, I don't know. I care too much. I think I got a little nervous, but no, I didn't.
Should have brought up politics. You would have
It
done.
would have been really, yeah, honestly, I think he shines there. So
Yeah. Maybe it would have been Squid Game. If you talked about Squid Game, then he might have liked that because that's sort of fish
Yeah.
related. And it's also kind of a competition show. But it's not reality TV. And if it was, could you imagine? If Squid Game was real?
Mm.
Well, I mean, they kind of they do. I mean, they don't shoot them, but like they do Squid Games reality show. They're coming out with season 2.
Well, the
Wait.
whole point of Squid Game is shoot them.
There's a woman that won who I think still hasn't gotten her money. This is like making big news.
Wait, is this from
Oh.
the Beast? Is this Mr. Beast show?
No,
Oh.
this is
No, this is a different. There's an actual Squid Game, Brian.
yeah. The woman was a retired Navy. She was in this. I only know this because they were casting for season 2, and the person that won season 1 is like a stay-at-home mom who was in the Navy and just like crushed. You know what I mean? Like everyone like mom. It's like popularity contest, but she's smart. And I don't know if I'd like say she's just like my dad, but there's similarities. And so I was like, you got to apply. But I don't know.
So you did apply.
Oh, he applied. He's not on the show. He didn't make it on.
Oh.
There can only be one in this family.
One reality TV star.
One reality TV star.
What other? So in an interview, you said that you are a reality TV fan. You love like cooking competitions, but outside of cooking stuff, like what's your like go-to reality show? Like we're big. I love reality TV also. So
I like Love Is Blind. I feel like a lot of people say that. I feel like there's a reason why people say that. It's really good. It's like I like it when there's couples that I'm actually following and I'm like, wow, they would be a good pair in real life. But the majority of it is just, like
A disaster.
television.
Yeah.
Great. It's really good. So
Yeah.
I would say like brain numbing stuff. That is pretty high up there. Like Love Island, I just kind of watched the last season, but I've been told I have to like go back and watch, I think like the UK.
it's really trashy and good.
Yep.
It's complete. Yeah, it's real trash, but awesome.
Done that, but yeah, I think it also I want to rewatch. I think I'm at the point where I'm ready to like rewatch our season because I have friends and family who are kind of doing it, and now I feel like I was almost like too nervous or like you're like taking shots and like celebrating watching the episodes when they're airing, and so I think I'm ready to like actually like live it again. So maybe I'll watch that. But that's
Well, you mentioned that you're a big fan of Top Chef. So like Last Chance Kitchen, do you have thoughts on that and its impact to the game, especially since it's changed where people used to be able to come in right at the very end, then they kind of moved that back a little bit.
I mean, I think I don't know. No one's ever asked me about Last Chance Kitchen. I think
Well, I guess you weren't in it.
I guess I'll never know. I think the show itself is it's fun to watch. Like I've always like enjoyed tuning in, and I think the idea of like surprising people by throwing someone in is a really good twist for like TV and entertainment purposes. I mean, definitely them throwing Laura back in was like that's good TV. And I think like the challenges are probably, I mean, that's like really difficult. I like quick fires, but I don't think that I would like quick fires. Like what I like about quick fires is that they're generally very broad and there's like one thing that I can focus on versus an elimination challenge where it seems like, I don't know, it's in a different sense. I think too many things are broad where Last Chance Kitchen, it's like, it's super quick and you have to be really specific, like make a sandwich with this many layers, all that stuff. I don't know. I don't think my brain would work well in that sense, but I do like the whole idea of giving people a chance to come back. Because I think you really do have to prove yourself.
I think you kind of trained doing your own version of Last Chance Kitchen before you came on the show.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, Justin, my fiance, he's probably more brutally honest than like even Tom. So that was good training. So that was nice. But I think the actual idea of doing LCK, especially, I didn't even say this, like the back to back to back, like you're not having a real break in between. Literally in the way that you're viewing it, sometimes they're okay, now you're going to cook again. But like in the actual way that it generally is filmed, it's pretty much back to back to back, which I
Well, because Tom only gets the like kitchen at night, like one night. Like he has got to sneak in there. He has to know when everyone's asleep, and then he goes in there and he's got the room. He's got the one guy working the camera. He's like, if they come down here and catch me, and I'm big, I'm not supposed to be in here.
Super big trouble.
yeah, he has to clean up. I think for us, it's sometimes like you're close by, right? Like there's studios and you're doing LCK, but maybe you're doing like interviews over here, stuff like that. I always thought it was so cool if we like pulled up and I'm like, Tom's here. Where is he? But
filming his show, his other show,
yeah,
New York show,
my show.
Is there a quick fire challenge as a fan that you are bummed that you didn't get to do, and that you got to do the like blindfold taste test, which is always fun? That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know. I think to be honest, if we didn't do the blindfold, that would definitely be the one. Like the second they brought it out, I was like, yes, very confident. And no, I think that's the one. We did the exact the one that I care about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had a job, but it's fine.
What do you mean you did? You tied for first, right?
Yeah,
I
you
tied
won
for
that
last.
quick fire.
I tied for last. I won. Oh, all right, you guys. Okay, I did my homework. I
told you
No,
you
no,
shouldn't
no,
have.
no.
I told you
You
shouldn't
and-
have.
so this is so
You
Wait a
important.
and
second.
Manny did, right? You and Manny tied for last, right?
Well, so me and I believe Dan tied for last. We both got 9 out of 26 ingredients. But I won the big money because I made a dish with those ingredients they liked the best.
Right.
Manny guessed the most, and so he got 5 and I got 10.
There it is. That's what
Oh.
happened. That was the
I was
double winner of the quick fire.
rude. If I had too many things, it wouldn't have mattered. That's like it would have been way too. The second I had like 9, it was easy to be like, okay, I'll use all of it.
Is
That's
that
like-
not one that you and your now fiance worked on? Like, did you work on that? Is that one of the quick fires you ran?
Oh no, nope. Love
Okay,
it.
so he let you down on that one.
No, we didn't do that one. Yeah, we watched people do it. We watched those episodes. Wasn't super helpful in the moment. Also,
Okay.
Manny uses a tongue scraper, which I think was kind of a secret weapon.
He to after each tasting.
No, no, that
Just
was
in general.
Just in his life.
I thought he was like in between each one. Okay, hold on,
1
let
second, Batman.
me clear this one out.
No, he just like I think he just does it every day. And so the second we found out, he's like, I mean, he's already bragging like, I use a tongue scraper, you know. And I went to like the culinary section where the snacks are, and I grabbed a plastic knife and I was like scraping my tongue in the bathroom. And so honestly, I probably hurt myself. I probably was like tasting like blood.
Yeah.
Wasn't great, but
You're,
no, he
you're like, I think this one's blood.
Yeah, this one's
No,
blood.
it's
It's
okay.
blood again.
This
You
one's
can't
blood.
Blood
say
again.
blood for
You're fired.
all of them.
It's like metal.
yeah. Anyways, so yeah.
All right, we're gonna switch. We're gonna go and talk about a segment we do every week on the podcast called Chefs I Prepared for You. This is a segment where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night, and we present it as if we're presenting it to the judges on Top Chef. There will be a winner who will be picked because we don't vote anymore on this podcast.
No.
We've learned our lesson.
Or
We've
choose
seen
we
what
pick
happens.
now.
Yeah, we've seen what happens when you vote too much. So we're picking now. So I'll go first. Chefs I prepared for you: curry spiced rice, brown rice, with turkey breast and sautéed kale in a bowl, scrambled together.
So ground turkey.
Heck yeah, dog.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Heck yeah. Seasoned ground turkey.
That's a big, usually you're like ground bison and lamb and you go to
Yeah.
turkey. It's pretty boring for you, my friend.
Okay. That was
Well-
a kind thing to say. Thank you.
I'm just,
Nutritious.
Yes,
what-
very nutritious.
Mhm.
Yes, sure.
comforting, fulfilling.
Fulfilling. Warming. I forgot there was also a protein shake to wash it all down.
I was gonna say, was it dry? Did you need some liquid in there?
I mean, it was dry, but that's because I'm a dry boy.
He does
so
like
I
it dry.
I like a
Dry
dry. So
I-
it didn't put any sauce or anything in there. So yeah, I choked it down. It was kind of cakey. And then I washed it down with a cinnamon cereal flavored protein shake.
Okay.
gross. Is it the one, is it that, it's not the like vegan one, is it? The like vegan cinnamon protein shake?
No, no,
Okay. I see those a
No.
lot.
The
no,
vegan
this
ones
is
are
a-
good.
this is a full bodied dimetized
Tell me,
No,
how many
vegan.
grams of protein are in that shake?
25 a scoop.
You got to hit 30, brother. 25.
You're double scooping, right?
No, I'm single scooping.
You got a double
You're
scoop.
just drinking
You-
a milkshake.
At
Yeah,
that point,
I can't-
yeah.
I
That's what
can't
it
do
is.
it in this economy.
Fruity
I can't
Pebbles.
double scoop.
I think it sounds good. I think it sounds well rounded. I'm curious how it stacks up.
It
Because
probably won't.
you guys talk about this beforehand, or is it like I went to the gym and here's my meal, and then you guys are like, I cooked for my family and this is what I made.
Yep. It's all, we don't know. I have no
We have
idea.
no- we have
I don't
no
know what
clue.
Reaves is
In
going to, what he's going to say.
kayfabe, we don't
You
know
could-
anything.
Yeah, so if you heard something, you could be like, I'm going to change mine right now.
Oh, well, you
like-
gotta
Well, I
keep
don't know.
it-
We want to tell the
Yeah,
fans
yeah.
that
You
that's a
gotta be
possibility.
honest.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
wink, wink, tell the truth all the time of what we have.
All the
And
time.
mine just happens to be boring all the time.
If we were able to change, Savannah, if you listened to a lot episodes from years ago, which I don't recommend doing,
Yeah,
um,
we don't do
if
that.
we were able to change our answers, I would change my. You know how many times I said sloppy joes, Savannah? In the-
Really? You repeated sloppy joes?
yes.
Week after week
Week
after week.
week,
It
yeah.
was
Not like-
concerning.
Not like as a meal, but like as your addition to the show.
It's just how it worked out. I just
Yeah.
It
happened to
was
have
his
sloppy
meatball.
joes the night before.
I gotcha. I think that's fine.
During the
Okay.
pandemic, I had sweet potatoes and broccoli almost every day with some protein.
You're healthy. You're really focused on.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I
Food
think
pyramid
that's
guy.
great. I think it sounds good. It's like a Tuesday
It's a
night.
post-workout meal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's gonna get it?
Chefs,
Reaves.
I prepared for you a quinoa salad.
Okay.
Now, this had quinoa,
Mhm.
3 cups. Here's the thing with quinoa. You put
Break it
1
down.
cup in the bowl,
It
you
becomes
get
3.
3 cups.
Yeah.
That's feeding my whole family, baby. So I made a big bowl of that. It had what did it have in it? Parsley, bell pepper, Persian cucumbers. You can kind of make a little bit of like a base sauce. It's like lemon and oil and that kind of stuff. A little bit of garlic
Okay.
in it.
Okay.
And then I mixed it together
Mm-hmm.
tasted it, and I was like, this is bland for me. So spice it up. Had some feta cheese laying around.
Hey.
Put that in there.
Mm.
Little red pepper flakes. Put that in there. It tasted okay.
Yeah. It's one of those you keep adding stuff and just keep
Hoping.
canceling each other out.
Yeah, it was like maybe potato chips. Maybe that.
You gotta crunchify. I
Maybe
mean, that
pizza.
always fixes
Yeah.
anything. Um, Michelle said she's okay with crunchifying last week.
Yeah.
She's sandwich master. She said crunchify.
I know. I mean, so I did listen. I was like, I was thinking, if I'm asked, what would I say? I'm not opposed to it, but I'll be honest, it's not something I've done. Like, I don't like get a sandwich and I'm immediately like, let me get my chips. But I definitely think it sounds good. You know what
But
I
they're
mean?
on the side, and you're never like, "Oops, got a chip on the sandwich."
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh,
"Get
no.
that shit out of here."
Man, I think maybe I will now.
Get-
I think to be honest, I think it sounds like such a good, I never think about it, but I also think more often than not, I eat like an entire bag of chips. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
before I reach for a sandwich, I eat an entire bag of chips.
You
Yeah.
can't do
So-
that in aspirin, but yeah.
Is there something that's like, yeah, I definitely pro chip.
Ride the lightning. Next time you're thinking about a sandwich, be like, "Can I put some chips on this?" And then just see what happens.
I will.
I got
I'll
a
let-
question to ask. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I'll let you. I was saying I'll let you know.
Oh, okay. Yes, please. DM us and then put us on Top Chef. This is a question for Reaves, but also everyone.
Mm.
When you make quinoa, the little package says to rinse. Put it in water and rinse it to avoid rocks. So I do it because it tells me to do
Mhm.
it. I think I'm gonna stop because I've never once found a rock in there, and I think I'm ready to
Bryan?
to let it go.
Brian, don't do
I
that.
found so many rocks in this quinoa. Big hunks of cement that were in there. If I hadn't done it, who knows what would have happened to my teeth?
You
Right?
broke all of
That's
them.
why you do it. It's just you take a big bite. It's supposed to be soft and nice and grainy. You got a big brick, basically.
I've never seen that. Are you joking? I've never seen that on a quinoa box.
It said
And
mine says
Are
to
you
do it.
serious?
it specifically says to avoid rocks on every single.
Where do you buy quinoa?
Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Okay,
Whole Foods.
never mind. I have never done that. Have
You
I
can
Really?
always
Oh,
rinse
no,
quinoa
I've
for cooking
never
it
done that.
because it has a natural coating called saponin. Well, that's not. No, where's the rock thing? Let's see.
This
I
It
buy
does
my-
say to
I made
rinse.
quinoa on Top Chef, but it would be embarrassing if I made quinoa on Top Chef. Anyways, so
Let's
it's
see.
fine.
I go down to
Are-
the quarry and get my quinoa.
Well, you get it right from the source then.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They wash
Are
it
there-
for you though.
Here we go. Okay. I just Googled, are there rocks in quinoa? And this is from the subreddit Kitchen Confidential.
Okay.
The subject is rocks in quinoa, lentils, beans. The first comment with 14 likes, so 14 people agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always been told to sift through dried beans, lentils for rocks before cooking them. And it says it's usually printed right in the instructions on the package. This person, west of Texas, it's very common.
See, there you go.
Wow.
Facts.
Maybe-
And we all know now Reddit is the new Google anyway. So that means it's right.
I didn't know that, so I'll do that now.
Yeah.
It just saved everyone's teeth.
Yeah, I think I just am like quinoa. I know how to make quinoa. You know what I mean? I don't know if I've read the instructions on a box of quinoa. I guess is what I'm realizing.
You're just winging it.
Yeah, like it could be dangerous, so I will from now on.
Chefs, last night I procured for you 2 slices of pizza.
Yes.
From a whole pizza. I usually give a little story to explain why we went out to eat, even though I go out to eat every night. Yesterday, I attended an 8-hour beekeeping course from 8:30 until 4:30.
Why?
I didn't want because I'm considering bees.
No.
Thank you. Thank
No.
you. Can we finally
Brian.
talk about bees on this
Brian.
podcast?
No.
Wait, so cool.
See,
It is cool.
it's very cool.
Brian,
I'm
what do you have in
considering
your
bees.
garage? Brian, what do you have in your garage right now that you don't pay attention to?
Motorcycle.
This is
ta-
going to happen
poker
to the
table.
bees. This is going to happen to the bees.
No, you
Well,
gotta.
The bees can live inside the motorcycle, right?
my
You can kind of
goodness.
hollow that bad boy out,
Uh-huh.
and that's
Uh-huh.
a little makeshift home for them. Yeah.
What sparked the bee idea?
Well,
He doesn't mind his own business.
That too.
Get his own beeswax.
I gotta hear what people are saying. One, I'm bored.
Busy.
I'm bored. About 3 or 4 years ago, my wife and I moved out of Brooklyn. We live in West Orange, New Jersey. Find me, freaks. And I'm almost. This happens. This is I don't know why it does this.
Oh, wait,
I'm
so
also.
if you're like,
What a
we're in New
freak comment.
Jersey.
I'm also.
Yeah.
I'm also almost 40, and I get to do things. I need to find things to do. I bought the motorcycle. It's too scary. I took boxing classes for a little while.
He didn't like getting hit in
I
the
stopped
face.
doing that. I can't get hit in the face.
Yeah.
My doctor said don't do it. I gotta find stuff to do, Savannah and Jamal. So I said, why not do bees? So I signed up for a bee class. It's 2 sessions of 8 hours each, and then we go to a field day. And I can
Okay.
then have bees.
And then
Are you-
I feel like it's a big investment too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so
And then
there's
you can have bees.
It's
Then
only
I can
rich
ha- yeah.
people that are doing bees. Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Where are you
trying
gonna
to
put the bees? Where are you gonna put them?
backyard. They only need to have 10 feet.
Oh,
They need to be
oh
10
my
feet away
God.
from your neighbor's property.
Oh my
Do
god.
they give you some bees like as
You
you
gotta buy 'em.
graduate?
You have to buy them. How are you gonna transport them?
Yeah, where do you go to get them?
Well, what they do is that so someone
do
stands
a
on top of the
picnic.
podium, of course, and they call your name, like Bryan Jackson. You walk up on stage, da, ba, na, 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 na. They have they have a beard of bees, of course, and then they
Sure.
transfer a few of them to you. So when you first start out, you got a little goatee of bees, just a few of
Right.
them, and they say, "Go and fulfill your beard with bees." Is what they say. That's how you graduate.
Well,
from
they give
bee
you
class.
the can, right? So you can stupefy the bees, so they
Yes.
they stay kind of
Like
mellow.
wait,
Yeah.
like disturbed, stupefy.
Yes. That's what that song is about, right?
I think so.
Owning bees.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with
So-
the bees?
Yeah, honey.
I want to know what the end goal is. What are you doing with the bees?
There is
Take
no end
care
goal
of them.
here.
Yeah, but
Savannah, why are you asking these questions?
is-
There's no end goal.
what you want the honey? You want to make money off of it?
I don't make money. I just want to give my friends. Can you imagine? I show up on Christmas Day and you say, "Here comes Brian again, always giving us the same lame present, something he bought at the store yesterday." And I say, "Here's honey," and they go, "Oh, that's honey." And I go, "It's from my backyard, motherfucker."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a few people like that in my life who have bees who give specifically their honey and like things of that nature, and it's very genuine. It's from the heart. I think you're
Mhm.
onto something.
Do they get stung a lot? Asking
Yes.
for a friend.
I do ask that, and I don't think like there's nothing that's popping up. I think most of the time people are like, no, they're really nice. You just-
Oh, no.
I don't
know,
really-
Brian.
if they don't say yes, here's a terrible story immediately, I think that I kind of stop paying attention. So I don't think anyone's.
The instructor
Brian,
said that you
They're
get
definitely
stung,
getting stung.
that you get stung thousands of times, and then you have to keep doing it just to get used to it. Is what they said.
Oh my god.
That would not be for me. But
Brian,
Yeah.
one, I can't believe you tried to bury this in your explanation. Unbelievable. Two, are you the youngest person in
No,
this class?
no,
Wow.
Really?
no.
I feel like it's an older person sport, but people younger getting into it?
Yeah, there were some.
Wow.
I think early
That's
20s maybe
awesome.
there.
100%.
Saving the bees. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're a little out of touch, I think. That's totally a
Yeah.
young.
I watched
Sport.
that David Beckham documentary. He's old as hell. Yeah.
So yeah, 2 slices of cheese pizza.
Okay, that's great. Who chooses? Do I get to choose or do we all vote? What happens?
Oh, we haven't heard yours yet.
And that happens
Oh, wait, I go?
later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What I
Did
made
your
last-
homework, huh?
Last.
Sorry, no, I didn't listen to this.
Always
part.
nice. Always nice to meet a fan.
Yeah. Sounds like my wife. I listened to the first few minutes and turned off.
Okay. What chef I have prepared for you? This is a kale Caesar salad with buffalo. This is not like Top Chef material, but it's fine. Buffalo cauliflower and like coconut bacon. There's a restaurant in town. It's like a chain. That's like a Sweet Green, and they have a salad that I love. So I tried to make that at home. And I'm worried now that I'm saying it that they're going to be like, she's trying
They
to.
gotta come after you.
Yeah.
She's saying that she made this salad and she's marketing it. It's like my favorite, whatever. But it's it's expensive. You can't order it like 4 nights a week. So
Yeah.
we
To
made
avoid fees, you made it yourself.
Yeah, and
You got a tip.
it tasted just like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
We'll probably do it again. But
half the cost.
you know what? I think if we had a game plan for like the rest of the stuff that we bought to make those two salads, sure. And so like one day it will be, but like this month's like P&L we lost. Like we're gonna have to
Mm.
in the freezer. Like we'll pull that chicken out another time.
Yeah, you gotta
Um,
spend money to make money.
yeah, 100%. But yeah, so yeah, it was that was the situation. Sorry, I would have been more prepared. God, I didn't know
No,
I had to.
we want the real. We want like
Yeah, we want the real.
That's
that was
better.
this is a good. That's a good answer.
That
You know.
it's. I mean, let's be honest. It's still better than all of ours.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we
I had
haven't
2
picked
slices
yet.
of pizza.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
have made fun of you for being so healthy if that was my answer. So
Oh, you didn't know you had to share, so you were
Yeah,
talking shit.
like, hey, yeah. Will you
Fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd. Dry turkey nerd.
I went for the first run I've been on in a year, and then I made that salad. So it's worse. It's bad, but it's fine.
Okay, we've all shared. Now it's come to the picking portion of chefs I prepared for you. The rules are simple. You can only pick one person. You cannot pick yourself. And in the event of a tie in the next round, you cannot pick yourself or that person that you just picked.
Yes.
I will go first. I will pick Chef Miller.
And I will go. And I gotta pick my boy Bryan for those 2 slices of pizza.
Let's
Mostly for the
go.
bees, though. Mostly for the
Let's
bees, though. Let's be
go.
honest.
Okay. This might make it hard, and I
Mm-hmm.
apologize for doing this in advance.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna vote for Reaves and his quinoa salad because I like the idea of adding things to it and seeing what happens and then still being okay with it.
I kind of, I was gonna vote for Bryan, but what happens if I vote for Jamal? Does like the game break?
We gotta pick again.
We gotta pick
You just
again,
vote
and-
again, like
yeah.
normal
Oh,
democracy.
Yeah, like how the real world works.
Okay, I choose Bryan. Sorry, that was my original vote. I'm curious.
This
But the
is
the bees things, yeah.
this is almost never happened. Savannah, when I tell you that I don't win, I don't win. If this
Yeah.
is Squid
Oh.
Game, I'm getting shot all the time. This is Squid
Yeah.
Game.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's good. This is, yeah, sorry. I was just curious about the other scenario, but that was my choice. Yeah, the pizza. And because that's, I think, what I wish I would have had.
So immediately found out you might have to do this picking again, and said no, thank you.
I said, I'm done. What time did I said? It's 8:52. I choose Bryan. Yeah.
Smart.
I'm
That's
just-
smart.
All right,
I'll take
Bryan
the dub.
wins.
Just kidding.
Okay.
Hell yeah, dog. Hell yeah.
Good job.
I won and I bought pizza. Everyone else cooked
Yeah.
stuff. And see, that's the racket. And Savannah
is.
said it herself. She said that she probably spent more making the salad than she'd have just gone to Sweetgreen. Making
Yeah.
food at home is not, you don't save any money and it doesn't taste as good when you go to places
Yeah.
and buy it.
I agree. And dishes.
And there's the dishes.
And the dishes. Mm.
Yes. We should talk about dishes.
And there's the kitchen fires that almost always happen.
Yes.
Speaking of kitchen fires, are you making any cameos in season 22, Top Chef?
Well, if I was, I wouldn't be able to tell you that, but I'm not.
That's a yes. Oh,
That's
No,
a yes.
well, I-
That's a no,
I love that
but
you
a
think
yes.
it's
It's a no, but a yes.
sounds
All right.
like a yes. Okay, fans.
All right. You heard it
But-
here.
You know, she was talking about Putin earlier and she was like, I love Montreal. You know, they speak French there. Couldn't stop talking about Canada. If you show up
I-
there, we're going to get you in trouble.
I love Canada. I did think it was interesting that they're going to Canada when there is a Top Chef Canada, but also it's like I think Gail deserves it. You know?
Yeah.
Gail's been there for 100 seasons. It's time to give Gail let's go
Home court
home.
advantage.
Let's go
Yeah.
home. Let's take you home.
I
And maybe she's doing a final lap.
Mm.
Shut up. Why would you say that?
Yeah. Why would you
I'm-
say that?
I mean, Padma left.
I know. You know what? I think that what you're saying, like you're just being it's reality, but there's no way. I think especially because Padma just left. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
like Tom needs his leading ladies to help him hold it down. And
Oh, he's in trouble if they both leave.
Oh, yeah.
He would be a mess. The show would be a mess.
Kristen's amazing, but like, it's about like Gail is like, I don't know. For me, I was looking to her. I mean, God, I could go on all day, but like I think she's like definitely a staple, but she's also like that. I don't want to say like motherly love because I feel like it's not really what I mean, but it's adjacent to what I mean. She's very honest and like professional, whatever, but like she adds something that I would miss.
Do you, having watched old Top Chef seasons, do you wish that they still had like a mean judge? Like that one British guy who was like too mean. Can't think of his name.
I
And then of
think
course when Bourdain was on the show, he was mean.
I think Tom can be mean.
But Tom's
Thank
like
you.
he's like
Now we can
constructively
say it.
mean. Where like the British guy is like, you're ugly and this food is bad.
Oh, okay. What was the, do I want that? No.
Do you miss that? Yeah. Do you wish that happened?
You missed that?
No. I mean, so like for some shows, yeah. For me, like this is too close to obviously now, but like even before, I would be personally offended if I saw that. And I'd be like, "Well, it's not even what it's about." Like I love that in other things that aren't this. This is a little too close, but I think I do miss like certain Padma like remarks, like little responses or ways that only she could respond to things that weren't mean, but just very like I'm Padma. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. She's like a queen. So I think I do miss that, but not I wouldn't want it from a guy. I guess is what I'm saying. I don't
Fair.
want to hear
That's fair.
I get that.
that's
That's
my
fair.
that's my perspective.
Are you still cooking at Tempura?
I am. So I am the CDC there, and then my fiance and I just opened Savvy Hospitality this year, and so that is essentially what we're doing now. Is uh, a lot of catering on the side. So I still am doing that full time at M Tempura, but this is kind of like our side hustle as we build and save and grow towards opening a restaurant.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So near
What
future.
kind what are your I mean, can you tell us what kind of cuisine you would have in your restaurant?
Yeah. I think, for us, it's about, he's a full-time farmer. We met working in restaurants. So his identity and like our partnership is a lot of the front of house, but he also kind of starts the whole process with everything he grows. So without being like too, it's farm to table, it's kind of played out. I just think for us, I almost like to describe it more as like, why wouldn't we go in that direction? You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
You
it's a
got a
smart,
farm.
yeah, like it,
Got
and
some
also
tables.
who can, it's so cool. I mean, I love going to the farmer's market and like seeing what people have and getting inspiration that's kind of off the cuff, but it's really cool when you can plan out a growing season and you can plan out dishes a lot farther in advance and you know, you can be creative, but like you can plan out that creativity. And then so we kind of like factor that in, but I would say that the food is more vegetable forward in the way that like it's not vegetarian, but I do like putting vegetables kind of at the front and center of things. I don't like to eat food that makes me, I mean, it's like one thing if I'm like eating an entire pizza and sitting on my couch, right? But like when I go out to eat and I'm like enjoying paying high quality for someone to like create a dish for me, I don't want to feel like super overwhelmed and heavy. So I like to make food in that setting that feels light and refreshing, but also really creative. Like I'm from the South, I've cooked in New England and I've done Japanese food for a while. I don't really feel comfortable like saying it's this or it's that, as much as it's like I'm using a lot of North Carolina produce because that's what we grow here, and a lot of seafood and local pork, etc. But we are really just trying to like give people things they haven't had before in a more than like casual setting, like fine dining, but a place you'd want to go to every week.
Nice.
Is that like the
So,
longest answer ever? I don't know, but
yeah,
It
but
was
the most
good. It was
passionate
thorough, and
answer.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
passionate. Yeah.
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 okay, good.
I just want to say, if the three of us make reservations and come to Tempura or your new restaurant when it opens, you will act like you know us, right?
I was like, hey, listen, so You guys are acting real weird, and we never talked before. No, I would definitely would. It's an open kitchen. It's like 30 seats. There would be no way. I wouldn't be able to like. I cook right there. So.
Okay.
Okay.
But I would.
So I mean, the
Really
bar is
selling it here.
high.
Really selling it.
Jamal and I went to Dale's restaurant, and he took us on the roof. So the
Mhm.
bar is high. So we expect.
We do have a bar on the roof. It's not our bar, but it's someone's bar. So
Okay.
if you guys come, we'll go do that. Well, are you
Okay.
guys? So one of you is in Jersey. Where is everyone located?
I'm
Sure.
in
DC.
Washington D.C. with Reaves. We live like a couple blocks away.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, so super close. All right. Well, when you guys are in Durham, let us know.
Oh,
I
we
should
will.
go. I was this, no
Let's do
cool
it.
fact. I was born in
Mhm.
Wilmington, North Carolina. I don't know anything about it.
That's cool.
Hmm.
Wow. But
He was
then
quickly shipped out to Virginia, though.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Wilmington, but I was born in North Carolina and then raised here. I've only not lived here for about 5 or 6 years. So
And that was when you were in Boston, Northeast.
yeah, but I came home. When I went to school, I literally Googled New England Culinary Institute because I was in my head. I was just stupid, right? I was like, I live in the South. What's the opposite of the South? Like New England.
North.
Yeah, and so I searched like New England culinary schools, and the school I went to was literally called the New England Culinary Institute, and it's the only one I applied to. I got in, crushed it. Like I think I was second in the class, and then I moved back home almost immediately after kind of riding out Boston because I missed it. So the tale as old as time.
Didn't keep the money there. Took the money in Northeast, took it back south. Didn't invest back in
Uh,
New England.
I think I was like 22 or 23, and I was like I mean in Boston at that time still I when I started as an intern I was making $9 an hour. So I mean you can't do anything. I was like, wow, I'd like to feel like I'm moving on in my life in some other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on that wage, you can't.
Oh.
So I have one more Top Chef related question. I know we're at 9 o'clock. The seasons are, I mean, when people go through the show, it's a lot about growth. Episode 12, especially, was about growth. And I feel like you, maybe more than other chefs, kind of took the audience on a journey of growth. I mean, from the first episode, you were like, I think the first thing that they put on TV of you was you saying everyone's raising their hands because they got all these awards and I don't have any of that. But like you showed so much growth and so much stability towards the end of the show, and you were my pick to win. So I was bummed when you didn't. But what do you think you learned the most about yourself during the show?
Thank you for being your pick. I appreciate that. I feel like the thing I learned the most, I don't know, I mean, there was so much growth. Like, I'm really grateful that I can look back and have this experience where I obviously learned a lot about food and like getting to work with these chefs and like meet these chefs and be under these stressful situations. Like, you obviously learn about cooking, right? I don't know if I really knew I was going to like walk away with so much personal growth. And so for me, there's so much to like even choose from. I think the biggest takeaway would be I've always cooked for other people. And I still do. Like I don't own my restaurant. I'm the CDC for somebody else. And I've cooked this food for a long enough time that like this restaurant has the imprint of me. And there, I know my place there and I have a voice and I love it. But when I was doing Top Chef, it was, you don't look around and ask somebody, what do you think about this? Or you can, but you're competing. And also
Mhm.
I'm creating dishes for a very specific menu for a restaurant where like at M Tempura, it's kind of obvious. It's not that I'm boxing myself in, but it's my job to make food that is on brand for this restaurant and this space. And so that taps into a certain part of my brain where filming the show and competing, I felt like I could really have fun and I could like just kind of do whatever I wanted. And whenever that stopped being scary and started being like a confidence builder because I was being successful, like making those choices and not like letting the outside noise in. I took that home with me. And I think it was really cool to come back and like be more confident in certain decisions and not, I'm very much like check the temperature of the room and like, how are we feeling about this? And like, blah, blah, blah. And I think it made me more confident to be like, no, like my idea is good. And like, my idea is good because Tom said it was. And so I'm going to come home now and like my idea is good now. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
it not like, you know, not really actually being that silly, but in general, just like walking away with the idea that like I could make decisions and if it's good, it's good. And if it's not, I can own that and it's okay. But it felt really cool to like do that.
Awesome. All
Yeah.
right.
It's a very authentic answer.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
So much passion. We only have one last thing before we head out. We ask every chef that we have on this question, although it's a new version of the question, so we're gonna ask
It had
you.
to
It's
be
very quick.
changed,
It had to
Wait,
be
you guys
changed.
changed it?
I
I
changed
didn't.
You
it.
didn't tell.
but I told him that was maybe a good idea to
I'm
change
not
it.
included in any decisions that they make here.
Well, he's third, Mike. So
They often try to replace me.
the question we have is sear, simmer, scrap. If you had to pick from all three of us, which one of us would you sear? Which one of us would you simmer? Which one of us would you scrap?
Sear, simmer, or scrap? Okay. Well, you know, I was like, what do you even mean? I don't want to know. So
It means nothing.
yeah.
Doesn't mean anything.
Sear, simmer, scrap. Man, this is how guys are. I feel like I've done lady podcasts and no one's scrapping anybody. You guys are just like mean. Okay. I would sear Jamal because I think that I would sear you in the little butter and you're eating a lot of healthy food and we need to add a little fat in the diet. You know what I mean?
All
Like
right.
we just
All
need to
right.
like sauce it up and you
I
like
accept it.
that's what we would do. I would simmer Reaves. I'm really thinking hard here, guys.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I would really want to make sure there's no rocks in that quinoa and
Smart.
simmer a few times. And I'm going to scrap Bryan because why do you only have 2 slices of pizza? You know?
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah.
the rest? There you go.
Valid.
That's my
That's
answer. I
valid.
didn't. Sorry, guys. That was hard. I didn't
No.
also finish Michelle's episode, so if you guys do that I didn't know you guys do that either. I got really
Well, she got a different question.
You got a
You
different
got a
question.
different question.
This was the first time asking that version. The original version was add foam, debone, or send home.
That one's better.
So you think it's okay though, right?
Are you worried about it being yeah.
But it's not because it means
But
nothing.
it's not.
It's
It
not
means
though,
nothing.
because it means whatever you want it to mean.
I think if you're
Does that
worried
change
about-
your
if-
answers?
If you're worried about your audience being offended by it, then you should change it. But if you're
This
not,
audience, Savannah, let me tell you, they can't get offended by anything. If anything, they want us to be badder.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
You know?
Lean in, like you know what I mean.
Mm.
I'm bad advice. This is probably the last time you'll hear from me. But you know, you shouldn't take my advice.
If we did
Okay.
add foam,
Well-
debone, send home, do your answers change?
That's. It's a
Should we
wholly
do
different
that
thought.
one maybe?
I just came up with a whole bit for the other one. I really don't want to go back on what I just said.
All
It was nice that you justified them.
Yeah,
though. You didn't
that
even
was
have to do that too.
didn't
That
have to
was
do that.
nice.
I really
There's
don't
a little
like-
color to it.
I'll be honest. I'm a genuine believer. Like everyone has like a thing. You know what I mean? I don't like put me on the spot like that. I don't like it. I'm pick and choosing. Not my bad.
Well, thank you for
Sorry.
So
indulging us.
maybe we
on-
scrapped the bit.
Maybe
I'm
we
like,
just don't
you
do
cut the last
anything.
20 minutes of this. I'm
No,
just
I don't
kidding.
edit anymore, Savannah. I'm sorry. I stopped doing that a long time ago. I don't edit anymore.
Okay, good. Good to know. Good to know. Cool.
Well,
I used
Savannah,
to.
thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys.
Is there anything you want to plug on the way out?
I don't think so. But this is really fun. So thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on. I'll do a quick plug for you. Check Savannah out on the other podcast that she did. It's coming out the same time as this, I think.
Way after.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, your fans are like, oh, I can listen to her here. I can also listen to her here. So it's like they can't get enough, you know.
If anything, you guys are like kind of cross promoting, so I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talked about us on that one too?
Oh, that is what that would be, right? So
Yeah.
you guys are really supportive of their podcast.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's what. If anything, we could lift up other Top Chef podcasts.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. We're actually ranked number 3 of Top Chef podcasts on a list once, and we felt like our job now is to pull up the other podcasts. So that plays
You're
into it.
welcome.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Until next time, on this podcast, we're going to pack our knives and go.
This was fun.
Absolutely.
This is great, guys. You guys got something here. This is fun.
Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it. And y'all got a new fan. I love it. Love hearing you guys' commentary. So
Okay, you might make the outro with that.
Yeah, clip it.
It's such a long outro now.
It's good.
It's so
Such a
long.
It's
It's so long.
He'll edit that.
It
But
was
he will
very
not
sweet.
edit anything in the podcast.
It's good.
Oh, all right. Is the recording stop or is it not stop?